Welcome to Engineering Python. This is a Python programming course for engineers. In this video, I will talk about lists. In Python, a list is a sequence of arbitrary values enclosed with brackets. For example, X is a list with 3 elements, a float number 2.7, a string hello world, and an integer -3. The len function returns the length of the list, which is the number of elements, 3. The type function returns the data type of this variable x. It is indeed a list. Variable y contains 4 elements, a float number, a string, an integer, and another list, so it is a nested list. The length of y is 4. The plus sign is used for concatenation. This is very similar to string operations. It will just combine 2 lists, so we have -1, 2 2s, and 3.4 in the new list. Star is used for repetition. This list multiplied by 3 means the list will be repeated 3 times. We get a list of 6 elements as a result. List indexing is very similar to string indexing. The indexes increase starting from 0 if we count from the left, and decrease starting from -1 if we count from the right. So y1 is just the string hello, y-2 is just 4, y3 is the inner list, -7 word. We can access the elements in this inner list as well, using the nested indexing like y3 0, which returns -7. List slicing is also similar to string slicing. The colon will separate the start position and the end position. The slicing includes the start but does not include the end. This statement will access the elements from 1 to 3, not including 3. The result is just a hello and 4. Lists are useful in many ways. Let's define a list. Days, which contains the abbreviations of Monday through Sunday. We can access the abbreviation of the nth day using days n-1 because the index starts from 0. We can also use a for loop to print out all the abbreviations in the list. If we want to return both the index and the value in this list, we can use the enumerate function. The index will be given to I, and the value will be given to D. We assemble these pieces of information in this way. Day, I+1, is the abbreviation. The output is D1 is Monday, Day 2 is Tuesday, and so on. To loop over 2 or more sequences at the same time, the entries can be paired with a zip function. For example, we have 2 lists. Questions contains the question numbers 1, 2, and 3. Points contains how many points these questions are worth, 10, 15, and 20. In this for loop, the zip function will pair questions and points. The looping indexes are Q and P respectively. This print statement will show that question 1 is worth 10 points, question 2 is worth 15 points, and so on. In this statement, the in keyword will check whether Monday is an element of the list of days. The answer is true. However, the lowercase Monday is not an element of days. The answer is false. Similarly, 5 is not in this list, so the answer is false. For a long string with clear patterns like this one, which contains the abbreviations of all the weekdays in one string, we can use a split method to split it into substrings based on spaces. The result is a list of 7 strings. Separator can be other characters. Here we use a separator that contains 2 characters, a comma and a space. The result is a list of 4 strings. Lists are mutable, which is different from strings, which are immutable. This list Y has 2 elements, 2 and 3. If we want to change the zeroth element to 1, we just set y0 to 1, like this, and y is changed to 1 and 3. To remove some elements from this list y, which contains 4 short strings, we can use the keyword del, followed by the slice from 1 to 3, but not including 3. That means B and C are removed from the list. The new list contains only 2 elements. A pair of bare brackets will create an empty list. We give this empty list to y. Then we append a string this to the end of list y. So now y contains just 1 element. We append another string that to the end of list y. Now y contains 2 elements. Next, we insert a third string thing to the first position of list y. Now y contains 3 string elements, and the index of thing is 1. The sort method will arrange the elements in ascending order. Because these are strings, they are sorted alphabetically. They all start with th. We cannot determine based on this. Move on to the third letter. A is the smallest letter, so that should be put at the beginning of this new list. For this and thing, we need to compare the fourth letter. N is in front of S, so thing will be put in the middle and this at the end. The remove method will remove 1 element, in this case thing, from the list. Now we only have 2 elements in y. The reverse method will just do what the name suggests, arranging the list in the reverse order. We can create lists in Python using a special feature called list comprehensions. List comprehensions use the for keyword to create lists in a way that is much like how sets are defined in mathematics. For example, A is a set of n squared, where n is any integer between 0 and 5, including both 0 and 5. Let's first use a for loop to create the list. To create this A as list, we can define it as an empty list. Then n loops through the numbers in this range. For each n, we append n squared to the end of list A. We use range 6 instead of range 5 because the range function does not include the last number in the generated range. As a result, list A contains 6 numbers. They are the squared values of 0 through 5. Now let's use the list comprehension to create the same list. A list comprehension consists of a pair of brackets. Inside the brackets, we have n double stars 2, which means n squared. The whole thing is followed by the exact same statement as in the for loop. The list we created this way is exactly the same as the one created using the for loop. Let's see another example. B is a set of 3 times 2 to the power of n minus 1, where n is any integer between 0 and 5. In this list comprehension, the only difference is that this expression is changed to 3 times 2 to the power of n minus 1. This is the result. The third example, C is a set that contains all the even numbers that are in set A. To generate C in a list, we use this list comprehension. The expression is just m. For every m that is in A, if m modulus 2 is equal to 0, that means m is an even number, then this m will be included in this list. The result is 0, 4, and 16. They are the even numbers that are in set A. The fourth example, D is a set that contains absolute values of all the numbers from this list. To generate D as a list, we use this list comprehension. The expression is the ABS function, which returns the absolute value of x for every x in this list. As a result, the numbers in the new list are all positive. The fifth example, Fruits are a list of 3 strings with some extra spaces: apple, banana, grape. This list comprehension will create another list. For every fruit I in fruits, we will apply the strip method to remove the spaces. The new list does not have any spaces. The last example, Z is a list of points x, y in the 2-dimensional space. X value comes from these 3 numbers, 1, 2, and 3. Y's value comes from these 3 numbers, 2, 3, and 4. There is a requirement that x must not be equal to y. Because this example is kind of complex, let's create the list using the for loops first. Define Z as an empty list. In the first level of the for loop, x will take each of the values in the list. In the second level of the for loop, y will take each of the values in this list. In the body of the inner loop, we check this condition. Exclamation equal means not equal to in Python. If x is not equal to y, we add this point to the end of the list Z. Let's show the created list Z at the end. We see from the output that the list contains 7 points in total. If you check it carefully, you will find that the point 2, 2 and the point 3, 3 are not in the list because x equals y in those 2 points. Now let's implement this using the list comprehension. We can see the list comprehension is very similar to what we did in this program. We put the for statements and the if statement in just one line, without the colon marks. At the beginning is the expression that represents the point. The result is the same as the previous program. Okay, that was all about lists. The course materials are available on YouTube and GitHub. You can watch the course videos in sequence. If you like this video, please subscribe and share. I'm Wang. Thanks for watching.